What's going on, guys? Dan Wise here with Wise Media Group. Today we have another awesome interview with a gentleman by the name of Craig Caudill, who has an amazing building in this area, the Wreckreation Center, Conquer Athletics, and that's coming up next. Mr. Caudill, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks.
Everybody's looking at it. He looks like a giant, but he's actually one of the nicest guys I've met since I've been living here in Washington.
Thanks.
So have you done a lot of interviews?
Very, very seldom, very few.
I know you did. You just had a really cool one done over with Yakima Herald did one on you, I believe.
Yeah. That was a really great opportunity. Just a organic meeting that turned into a pretty neat interview and a chance to talk about who we are and what we're doing over there on Front Street.
So you've got this old building, this warehouse I don't even know what you call it, but it's over there on Front Street. What's the address over there? Like, what's it near and stuff?
It's just south of Walnut on Front Street. The official street number is 200 South Front, but I mean, anything from 200 to 300 gets you there. It's a block long,
and you can't miss it. There's graffiti all over it.
Yes,
graffiti art.
Yeah, art.
Who's done by one of your amazing friends,
great friend,
Phaser.
Yeah.
So you own this building. You have a business in the front of it, and then you had all this extra space. And you decided to, kind of revitalizing the neighborhood a little bit, getting involved with the community. Tell people a little bit about who you are and why do you have an interest and why do you care about your community so much?
Who I am. I'm just a guy that has grown up in the Sela Yakima area. Been here all of my memorable life. Really, it's a area that's treated me well, and I looking for opportunity to give back to the community that has made a great life for me and my family.
Now, the building you're calling the building the Wreckreation Center, right? That's right. Like the whole building is the Wreckreation Center, and then the fitness portion of it, which is you got your gym, basketball, you got Jujitsu going on in there, cornhole tournaments, and individuals even rent out this and use it as a venue for different art shows or stand up, whatever they want to do, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
Parties,
baby showers, wedding receptions, it's the general use venue. And, we've got a lot of space there to use at someone's discretion.
Well, just so happens we sent out our high-end video production team today to go out there and get some audio and video to showcase a little bit for people. And by specialist, I mean myself and Tony using an iPhone.
Yeah.
Tony,
I saw that team.
You saw that team over there?
Around a little bit. Yeah.
I saw you run in. I thought we were about to get tackled for a second. So just so people know what's going on here, you've got a membership package that you're going to be offering to individuals that want to, take advantage of some fitness. You've got a Ninja Warrior gym practice area that's going to be going in there. Yep. Basketball, all these different things for people to take advantage of. And I think the coolest thing about this is it's not pristine with everything's not shiny and polished, and you go in there and worry about your hair and what kind of designer clothes are people going to judge you based on wearing cheap shoes or expensive shoes.
Right.
It's a place to go in there. It's a no bullshit gym. You sweat, I like to use the term get your money and get out. Tony, let's show them the video real quick so they can see just a little taste of what it looks like. All right, so that's basically the building. We showed a little bit of the gym there. We showed some of the fitness area, some of the graffiti, so people were wondering about it. So the graffiti, let's talk about why did you choose to have Phaser go in there and do his artwork all over your building? What was the purpose behind that?
I'm not sure if I chose Phaser or Phaser chose me. We ran across each other in just a chance meeting. He was doing some work across the street on another building finish line. It was a great part of the community down there, and really was impressed with some of the work that I'd seen him do, and you know, we really hit it off real quick, and really he's taken on the role of managing the exterior of the building, I guess we'll say. Why did I want him there? I've always really kind of had an affinity for the grittiness of the back alley, you know, and that's the feel that I wanted in the gym. And that's really why I approached him initially was, hey man, I'd love to have a couple of pieces on the wall inside the weight room in the rec center. And that wasn't nearly enough. That wasn't a broad enough goal for Phaser. I mean, the thing took off, and it's just turned into just an amazing, I'm going to go as far as to say landmark in downtown Yakima. There's nothing like it. There's bits and pieces. There's a lot. Phaser gets around. He's done a lot of work. There's a number of his crew that he runs with, and they do some just outstanding work. And but man, there's not a collection of that many artists in one place anywhere.
Yeah, you guys have done some cool things there. They've done some video shoots there, some photo shoots where the whole building is just artistically beautiful. And we've had Phaser on the show, so those of anybody interested in checking out Phaser's work, you can go look in our channel. And we did an interview with Phaser, I guess about a week and a half ago. But yeah, Phaser he speaks highly of you as well. Said basically the same story. He was just out kind of doing his thing, and you were kind of looking for that already, and you're like, hey, there's a guy across the street doing some work. So you rolled up on him, and now you guys are joined at the hip. And he's got art space in your building upstairs.
Yep. He's got a studio up there that for those chosen few that are able to experience it and see it, it's something to really behold. It's a true artist's sanctuary, if you will.
So now your background, you told me you've dabbled in real estate. That's kind of how you got into this: commercial real estate, residential real estate. And now you bought this rundown building that nothing was being done with it.
Right.
Building comes with a set of problems where anybody that's purchasing it can't purchase the land because the land's being rented back to you by the railroad, correct?
Railroad, yes.
Because you're right there on the tracks. Yeah. So for a lot of people, that's not ideal.
Right.
For you, it was a no-brainer, and it really does open up this expansion to where you can open up this massive sized gym where somebody else would have to spend a fortune to do that in any other area.
Right.
Now, your gym, you used to have a gym, you said, over in
Union Gap,
right? Okay.
Yeah.
How long were you over there for?
We were there for 5 years. A similar situation in that we found a rundown warehouse to lease at a pretty decent rate. Got in there and spent a couple of years fixing it. Pandemic came along, spent more time not making any money and still fixing it. And then when it came time to renew the lease, I fixed it too well.
Prices went up, huh?
Priced myself right out of that gym. So that was an interesting story. And that, you know, partly my fault. I let it get right down to the wire. We had about 2 weeks before the lease ran out. We had to make a decision. In that 2 weeks, we came up with this building and moved that whole bloody gym down there, 8,000 square feet by the pound, man. Wow. And you know, my son was just a huge part of making that happen, and can't thank him enough, because it would have killed me by myself. And so, you know, that put us behind with the recreation center in that we didn't have time to fix the place before we got in.
Right.
And, you know, we just had to pile it in. We had the thing piled from floor to ceiling with, you know, we've got to move it now, boxes and bins and crates. So we spent more time, I think, moving equipment from space to space to work on a particular portion of it than we have actually fixing the darn thing. But we're getting there.
I imagine you must live in this building.
My day job's at the north end, and all the rest of my free time is at the south end. And,
he's not talking about north end and south end of Yakima. It's about
No.
north end, south end of the recreation center building.
Yes, of the building. But it's where I belong, man. I have shed more than one tear of happiness over finally finding the spot that we can build the community that I think this town deserves.
So let's talk a little bit about I don't want to say the type of person you're looking for, but let's talk about the type of person that let's talk about who wouldn't want to go to this gym, right? So there's people out there right now that I feel are looking for this and they just don't know it.
Right.
So who's it not for?
I think the person that we're not big into machines. It's free weights, it's calisthenics, body weight stuff, parkour, the Ninja Warrior kind of stuff. If you're looking for a machine that has the instructions that tell you how it works, how many sets, how many reps, that's not necessarily for you, or our spot isn't for you. If you don't want to maybe be a little dirtier and grungier when you walk out of the building than you were when you walked in, it's probably not for you, because this thing it's old. It's 100 years old and it's been used up, and that's exactly the way we like it, because that's somewhat the way I feel some days. But so it's exposed brick, it's dirty, it's grungy. I mean, it's not filthy, but we're not gonna chrome it,
right?
We're not gonna paint what shouldn't be painted, what takes away from the persona of the building.
And it really, Tony, pull up his Instagram when we're talking to him, because it really does have that, like, just, you can tell this is like this feels like how I imagine when Arnold Schwarzenegger first started working out, going to gyms before there was these, McMansion gyms on every corner. You kind of go to your mom and pop gyms that they basically put a bunch of heavy stuff in there for you to lift and throw around.
Exactly.
You've got kegs in there. You've got kettlebells. You do have, I forgot what it's called. It's the first time I've ever seen it.
The mace,
mace ball,
mace balls, yeah.
mace weight, mace bell.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know that's not like your, it's that you said you got it because it's more of like a aesthetically cool looking thing to have, but they're really, really useful. I've been doing some more research on them. Anybody that's got like a joint where they're stiff and they're looking to get more mobile, and it builds a lot of core, builds a lot of endurance in your upper arms and your shoulders. I'm starting to think that's going to be one of the main things that I do when I go there, just because it's an area that I struggle in. But you've got key fobs, which are cool. So members, when they get it, and it's going to be open to certain people that have the right type of membership. They could go in there any time of the day, any time of night.
Right. We don't want to be, we're not quite the 24/7, everybody come and do your thing. But if the objection to you getting in and getting your work done is that you work swing shift and you can't come in until 2 a.m.
right,
we'll make it work for you. But we also aren't just going to open it up so that there's a cool spot to go have the after party.
Yeah.
So
no one's around. Everybody
right,
show up.
Right. Yeah. So
there wasn't panties hanging off of this rack when I left yesterday.
Right.
What do you see kind of the price point? Because this is also, you've got gyms that are pricing scattered from places like Planet Fitness for $20 a month to gyms where you're spending $300 or $400 a month for. So what's your pricing point, and what's the reasoning behind it?
I've struggled a lot with that. We don't want price to be the objection, but we don't mind it being the filter either. In that, Planet Fitness, certain purple gyms work on a price point that's cheap enough or less inexpensive enough to where you don't want to take the time to go cancel it. And that's they're looking for 1,000 memberships and hoping that only 2 people use that. We want to go the exact opposite. If price is your objection, you're not really looking at the story the way we would like to see it. You know, we're thinking around the $99 range. You know, it's inexpensive enough to make it worthwhile, or, you know, workable for people. But, you know, it's not the crazy personal fitness.
Right. But $99, that's going to get you access to the fitness area itself and to the gym, correct? So if you want to go in there and play basketball or.
Yep. So we've got about 3,600 square feet of nothing but heavy shit. You know, weights. We've got some turf for your athletic movement. You know, that incorporates some of the higher elevation Ninja Warrior stuff. And then we've got another 9,000 square feet of hardwood. It is in its infancy right now. There was a spot that at some point someone pulled the hardwood out and put in concrete. You can see where the heavy equipment was
and this
placed.
is like, so we're kind of seeing, and this is the where the basketball set up, where people are playing cornhole. Yep. So there's cornhole leagues there, correct?
Yes, the PSW is the premier cornhole.
So PSW baggers, is that what they're called? Okay.
Yeah, they're the premier cornhole club in town, and they take the place over Thursday nights.
So just Thursday nights.
Thursday nights they're in there. They run virtually weekly tournaments. They'll get in there on a Saturday night. Anybody who's ever been involved with a pool league or a dart league, cornhole's the same darn thing.
And then there's a jujitsu class that goes on in there.
Jujitsu, really high-end trained professor, James O'Neill, that gets in there and runs his group. He's due to retire from his military career in a month or two, and then he's really going to bump up that program.
And what nights are he in there?
He's in there Tuesday, Thursday. They run a different session on Monday evenings, and then they do a Saturday morning, just kind of a free mat situation. Everybody we've just talked about is the neatest groups. That cornhole, they've got anybody from teenagers to retirees. Same with jujitsu, and just, you know, they're part of the community that we really want to build down there. We want that space that, you know, if I didn't make it on the day I planned, I'm going to call somebody and find out what I missed.
Right.
You know, that's
so, and obviously, to be clear, the $99 membership does not include jujitsu and does not include cornhole.
That's correct. They are essentially free agents.
Right. They rent space from you.
Yes.
And they have their own clients.
Yeah. We make it on a building access fee. And then, they run their own programs. Okay. And we have more opportunity for that. And we do have the space for it as well. Personal trainers. You know, I've actually just started working with Central Washington Select AAU. My son played for that group 10 years ago, you know. So it's kind of neat for that to go full circle and be able to offer them some gym time as well. So,
you know, back in Florida, because Florida's like the melting pot. South Florida is like the melting pot of like every culture, you name it, it was there. And I cannot remember the name of the gym, but it was right when COVID started kind of releasing a little bit and people started kind of being, you know, not afraid to go outside. They had a gym there and they had a class, and they were calling it "Fuck Your Mental Health Day." And it was because everybody's freaking out about mental health, stressing out. And honestly, it made me think of it when I went to your gym. I've been there 3 times now to actually work out, aside from just hanging out with your beautiful face. It's like everything, all the stress kind of leaves you, because it's a different feeling. Like, I've got a membership at Planet Fitness. I've had memberships at Gold's Gym. I've had memberships at LA Fitness in Florida that are kind of like the larger gyms in the area. And you can definitely get your workout in these places, no doubt. But when I left your gym, I remember I called Shelly, my girlfriend, and I was like, I don't think I've smiled like this in years. She's like, why? What's in there? She's thinking there's like girls I'm staring at or something. And I said, no, it's just like because there's no air condition in the gym.
Right.
So again, talking about why people wouldn't want to come there. To me, that's not a reason not to go. That's a reason in my opinion, you go to a gym to sweat. Now, if you got like mental health, not mental health, if you've got health conditions and things like this, definitely check with your doctor.
Right.
But you go in there and it's just like this. You've got these big Bluetooth speakers you can hook up to. And I remember you said, play whatever you want. If somebody comes in and they don't have it, they can fucking go get a membership somewhere else.
Right.
You know, this is the kind of gym that you shouldn't come there and think people are going to be too concerned about hurting your feelings.
Right.
You got to come there and realize this is a place of exercise. To me, it's like a church. It's like a fitness church. You go in there, nobody's judging you.
Right.
So don't bring your judgmental, what you're taught in other areas and bring it in there.
Right.
You know, I think that's an important thing because people are going to come in. Well, you know, I'm bringing my kids. Well, if you're bringing your kids and you see a bunch of people in there and they've got, you know, hardcore rap music playing, you know, there's a chance your kids are probably listening to that song. I think that's what you told me. The kids probably heard it already.
Yeah. Front Street isn't the only place they're hearing it.
Right.
So, if the playlist offends you, it's not the right spot for you. You know, maybe I can help you find a place that is. And I'm not against that. That's really something that we've always professed to is, you know, try it, see if it's for you.
Right.
And if it's not for you, you know, tell me what you're looking for. I probably know, or I can at least point you in the right direction. Something I thought of, if you didn't care for the Rocky movies, you're probably not going to care for
that's a great assessment. He's got everything in there except slabs of meat to punch around. So Craig, you haven't always been this hardcore, dedicated to work type of an individual. You grew up in the area. You're clean and sober for I think how many years?
Over 30. I
30 years.
Lost track.
Okay. So a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously that plays a role in you being able to stay on point and stay dedicated to, you know, running multiple different facets of your life at the same time. But prior to all of that, in your youth, you were a different guy.
I was running pretty hard. I didn't give a fuck and was willing to live up to that standard. Spent a lot of time, got started drinking hard when I was in my early teens, and that continued on into my mid 20s. You know, got into you know, started by smoking pot, and then you know, that led to another. Thankfully, the couple of times I did coke, I realized that, man, I love this shit too much. I got to stay away. But you know, it also led into some less than honorable behavior to try to feed my habits. And you know, I guess the one thing that I really I was fortunate with was that through all of that, I started working at the job that I have now straight out of high school. I mean, within a week of graduation, and I had a boss that stood behind me while I was trying to get my shit together, and you know, allowed me to maintain gainful employment, which just allowed me to feed my habit that much more. And you know, finally made it out. Ended up in outpatient treatment purely to beat another DUI. I started collecting those for a while, and ran into a little round gray-haired lady named Pat that you know, I was just there to beat a ticket, and she convinced me that there was more to it than that. And here I am, you know, 30 years later. Think back a lot as to how life could have been, and very thankful that it took that turn.
You were telling me in one of our talks, lunches, or whatever it was, that you'd gone through some pretty hard times where not so good thoughts were rolling through your mind, and you were thinking about doing certain things that has a permanent solution, or you know.
I right before the pandemic, things got a little sideways with my family, and then it kind of bled into the pandemic, and I'm not quite sure on the timing there, but ended up to where I was I felt like I was alone in this world, and things got really dark, and it's crazy. My wife stood by my side for 30 years, and she is my rock, but that there's this lady that I met during a fitness challenge that she always kind of seems to show up at the right time, not anything more than I'll bump into her at a soccer game or something. And this woman gave me a old English bulldog. Showed up at the gym one day, said, "Hey, somebody didn't come and pick these two puppies up. Which one do you want?" And that puppy saved my life, man. I was really planning on being done with it, and the only thing that stopped me was the fact that I was afraid nobody'd find me in time to feed that dog. And for whatever reason, that lady kind of put him in my place, and he sits by my side every night now. And yeah, things can seem bad, but there's always something. There's always something. There's always somebody. Part of that whole thing was a kid. I coached soccer and basketball for, I don't know, 20 plus years, and had one kid in particular that I kept he kept in contact with me. He's the one that I'd get the Merry Christmas, Coach text from, and I'd run into him. I hadn't coached him for 10 years. I'd run into him in a parking lot. Ran into him at Lowe's last time I saw him. Lowe's. He's just started working there. Hey, Coach, how you doing? And not long after that, he fucking killed himself. And man, it's never that bad. It's never that bad. Why didn't you call me, man? And that's tough. And that was rough. That was a hard thing for me to deal with. And then I got to thinking, well, maybe there isn't anybody else out there. But I was so wrong. There's so many people out there that give a shit and that would have been pissed at me just like I'm pissed at him. And
people that are watching right now, there's a lot of people that are, you don't even know. They smile, they're on social media, perfect life, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for somebody that might be going through something that they feel all alone in?
Say something. Just say something to someone, man. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to say, "Hey, I'm hurting, and I don't even know why." But get some interaction somewhere. Yeah, it's a tough one. But yeah, you are not alone. There's more people than you think. And I realize that every day. And, part of what got me out of that pandemic, because I had my day job where we make eyeglasses, and, we started with 18 people in that building, got down to had to lay off everybody except for 2. And that was a situation where the parent company could have just shut us down. It's like, nah, little old optical company here in Yakima, we don't need them. They're doing 200 pair of glasses a day. We do 20,000 in some of our laboratories. They could have just shut us down, but God damn it, I had those 18 dependent on me for gainful employment when they came back. And we got I think at that point we got 15 of them back.
And this was right after the pandemic.
That was the pandemic. That's how many we were able to bring back and keep those people employed right here in Yakima.
How many are there now?
We have decreased only because we haven't replaced people that have moved on. We're at 12 now,
Okay.
but that we haven't cut the staff. It's just been attrition,
right?
And we've become more efficient and changed some of what we do in house as opposed to what we farm out.
It's a pretty elaborate thing you got going on there. I think I told you when I first time I went there, it was after I met Phaser. Phaser was giving me a tour, and I could hear the noise, and all I could think of is like every cocaine movie I've ever seen, where you have like the white coats behind glass. And the only thing that was missing is they were wearing clothes. You know, that was about it. Other than that, I was like, what's going on here? Yeah. And he's telling me, oh, they're doing glasses. I'm like, yeah, glasses. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, they're really doing glasses, guys. It's not a cocaine bin. Yeah. But it's an operation. There's some equipment in there, and and you own this building, which is super cool because you work for this company. So you're basically like the manager.
Yeah, I'm the general manager. I'm my own landlord.
So you rent space to them to employ you. Yeah. So that's not a bad gig.
It's not. And that hasn't always been the case.
Right.
I've worked for the company for 38 years. Started sweeping the floors and worked my way up to running the place. And let's see, when did I take over the building? Been in that building since 87 and just finally took over the building all year and a half ago.
Okay.
December of 2021. Yeah.
They bought the buildings. How much real estate have you bought in Yakima? Bought and sold, bought and kept?
This is my first
commercial.
I've had three residential units. I've still got 2 as rentals. That was sort of just happened by we purchased one and wanted to upgrade, so we kept it as a rental, moved on to the next, and ended up in the home that we've got now. It probably is. I'm not moving again, man. Yeah, and just kind of kept those. When I don't get rid of shit,
right?
I'm a hoarder. I keep it.
Yours, from what I've seen, some would have been organized hoarder. You've got some really cool stuff. Wait till you guys, when you guys go in and get a chance to check out this gym. And I'm sure if you talk to Craig, he'd be happy to give you a tour of the gym if you want to take a look at it before you sign up.
Absolutely.
Let's get a tour bus. We'll bring a tour bus. But when you go in there's some really cool old retro stuff, like in the gymnasium area, the old school. To me, it reminds me of like a 1980s high school basketball gymnasium. He's got some old school the fucking thing, karaoke machine, not karaoke, jukebox, a couple of those, just real retro looking. Doesn't even know if they work, but I'm sure you're going to do something so they're part of the atmosphere.
Yeah, they'll look cool.
So as an entrepreneur, business owner, an artist has its titles to it, but even the mind of an artist with what you're doing, these visions, somebody that's getting into the world of entrepreneurship, that's kind of what this channel is kind of overcoming adversity and making shit happen. You wouldn't have been able to do this if you'd maintained a habit. I doubt, because this requires a lot of your bandwidth.
Right.
So somebody that's trying to break into the entrepreneurship world, what are some, and I didn't prep you on this, so just off the top of your Chrome Dome there, what are some mistakes that the typical brand new somebody comes into some money, family member leaves them 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, 100 grand, and most people burn through that and they blame it on, the business was a bad business idea. Where do you see people making these mistakes, and what could they be doing different?
Sure. I think first off, believing the first failure is believing that it will be easy, that it will come easy. I'm not saying that, I've just grinded and man, I've put so much into this, but it doesn't just come right away. And I'm unique in that I've really tried to build this on a shoestring. So I've never really had significant debt in building the gym portion of it. The real estate is what it is. You you figure that out. But as far as the public venues go, I've never really had a lot of debt, so I've been able to offer opportunities to people that are trying to get their foot in the door, and without fail, they come in and they set up their program, and they just expect the mob to come, and you've got to go find that mob. You're, no matter what your business is in town, if you're a brick and mortar, you've got, even online, you've got to find the reason that person wants to do business with you. You've got to offer them something different, a reason to come to you. In the fitness and gym world, I've had people come from Sela, from Toppenish, and they've got to drive past 3, 4, 5, 6 different gyms to get to mine. Now I've got to give them a reason to keep driving, and if I don't, and hanging my shingle on the door is not it. It's finding how to connect with that person, and that's the biggest failure I've seen, is that when are they coming? The other thing is, or another thing would be ready to put in the work. You don't get to set your own schedule. Your business sets your schedule for you. And
so you mean the mindset that, I'm going to hire a manager to run it for me? That probably doesn't work out of the gate.
Nah, not gonna work right out of the gate. Not if you're starting from the ground up. You buy into something, sure, there's other considerations, but no, if you're starting from ground zero, you've got to do what you've got to do. And if that means you're cleaning the toilets, you're cleaning the toilets. If that means that you are not sleeping tonight, you're not sleeping tonight. And I'm not all about that, oh man, I'll sleep when I die bullshit. It's just a matter of, most of the time it's just you, and you've got to get it done.
But you are kind of preaching the truth, at least from your own walk. We were at your office. We were at we were at your shithole building that you turned into this awesome diamond in the rough. And I thought you were like, man, was this guy selling cans of tomatoes too? You had a big case of tomatoes. And I'm like, what are these cases of tomatoes? And you're like, man, sometimes I don't get time to eat. Yeah. He pops open a can of tomatoes. If it would have been a can of spinach, that would have been perfect. But that really is the truth, right? You've got this very quiet, humble look about you where I think you sleep under the radar. But meeting you and talking to you, people could learn a lot from you.
I might have a little wisdom,
Shelly's watching. Craig Caudill. Hi, Shelly.
Hi.
And Jessica Hutchinson. And you got a shout out from Nestor Della Torre.
Oh yeah.
He says, big shout out, Craig. Miss you, brother.
Yeah. He's one of the OGs down there from Union Gap.
Okay.
Yeah. Love that
Union Gap's not too far,
yeah.
Nestor.
Yeah.
We invite you, Nestor. One-on-one basketball, me and you. I don't know Nestor, so I'm probably gonna get my ass destroyed in the basketball court. But dude, you've got some really cool things going on, man. And I think if people come and take a look, especially with the times that we're going into, this is kind of like, to me, I don't know, it's almost like the apocalypse gym is open. When the end of the world comes and we all need to go brace somewhere, we're all going to show up at the Wreckreation Center. Where do you ultimately, like, I know you're opening a gym, you're enjoying it, but what do you hope to gain from this? Because it's not making millions of dollars, clearly.
No.
And if that happens, great. But what's the goal?
My goal with this, we haven't really touched on it, but I fought with my weight all my life. Entered a, always buying the meal plans, buying the workouts, never New Year's resolutions, all that bullshit, and never finished anything, and always felt badly about myself. Entered a physique contest 2016, something like that, and that was 6 different gyms around the mostly eastern Washington, and big old $10,000 first prize for the person to lose the most weight. And fuck, I'm in, I've got it to lose. And ended up losing 86 pounds in 3 months, 90 days. And, you know, was their poster child for how well our program works. And that was the absolute worst goddamn experience physically, because you can't lose that much weight that quick and have it be anything but muscle tissue.
Right.
I mean, I lost a lot of fat, but I tore my body up. It was another year before I finally ended up losing 100 pounds. It was another year before I could lose that next 15, because I couldn't even put on any muscle. So anyway, horrible experience with that crash diet, or whatever you would call it.
What kind of diet was it? Was it, I mean, it wasn't just fitness. Was it starving yourself?
It actually wasn't. You know, that was one. They did have some good points to their program, and they kept me on about, I had to prove that I was doing 1,800 calories a day, 18 to 2,000, which is very sustainable if you eat the right food. But, you know, we got down to the nitty gritty with this thing. I would spend 2 or 3 hours every Sunday morning planning exactly what I was going to eat for the next week. And that was just religious every week. And damn, that weight came off. And again, physically horrible thing to do to yourself. You don't want to lose that much weight. I've got it to lose. That's another story. But you don't want to lose that much weight that fast. But the positive thing out of that was the community. There was this, I believe the challenge started with like 600 participants. I think like 300 of them finished, which is pretty outstanding. A 50% finish rate on anything like that is, and it was the community. You had your crew, man,
like a support system.
Yeah. And really that run, that company went out of business right before they paid me my grand prize.
Oh, did you win?
I won.
You didn't get the money?
I didn't get the money.
Oh, we're going after them. That's it.
Yeah.
Taser. Taser, I know you're not a gangster, but we can pull you off as one.
Yeah, that's old news. That's under the bridge. But what I did gain from that was first the community. That was the biggest thing. Is, man, if we just come together and we enjoy what we're doing, we have fun doing this thing, we can't lose. And then the other thing was the actual sense of accomplishment that came along with finishing. You know, I'd always set these goals, always set, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. For once in my life, I finished that fucker, you know, and just a huge boost of confidence. Just from, you can do it. And I've seen it happen since. we ran a couple of really cool programs, but we did it the right way, to where now we're not worried about who's losing most. It was
more of like a fitness competition where complete a circuit with it, whoever does it like the fastest type of a thing.
Yeah, okay. that led us to the Spartan affiliation that we've got. But no, we did this in-house, and same kind of thing, man. The people we would, the best one I ever had, I only had seven or eight people finish this thing, and they got down to 12 weeks, and it was like, and I was coaching the thing, got down to 12 weeks, they were done. I said, you know what, I think we need to go one more week. And, you know, I was expecting these fuck yous, you know, but it was like, no, we are all in.
They never want to stop.
Let's go. Yeah. And, you know, that kind of atmosphere and that kind of feeling and the way we did it, I mean, we were just having fun. And that's what I want from this building. I want a community. You know, if cornhole's your thing, come do it, man. If jujitsu is what gets you going, great. If you want to come lift and find a crew, we you know, unofficially call ourselves the Conquer Wrecking Crew, and that's where the Wreckreation Center comes from, because that's spelled WRECK, like train wreck, recreation. And you know, we decided that we're gonna throw a potluck next Sunday, and 20 people show up just to do the thing. Fuck yeah.
I've never been more excited for I know you've done like a soft grand opening or whatever, but I am so excited for this place to open, because of that, you know. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to donate my own catchphrase, my own slogan that we use on the prison channel. I think you should actually, seriously, I think you should add it to under the Wrecking Center, the Recreation Center, or Conquer. Communities method, people helping people one day at a time.
I love it.
Because that's everything you're talking about. It's anybody that's been in military, anybody that's been in prison can all kind of with the whole community of individuals going through what you're going through. You live with these people, you eat with these people, you work out with these people, and it does create a different kind of it's like you know what the other person's going through.
Right.
You guys talk about stuff.
Yep.
You know, you're sitting on the bench in between sets, you know, oh man, I'm going through this with my wife today.
Yeah.
It's like having a therapy session, but you're actively doing something that's proactive. You're not sitting at a bar drinking, feeling better in the moment, but as soon as that hangover hits and you're look at you just spent $300, you're worried about a $99 gym tab. Believe me, the bar tab gets way more expensive.
Yeah.
So, you know, I picture this place having a couple shelves inside of it with some big orange Gatorade coolers with just water in there, and you go and you get your water, and it's kind of like, you know, it's really just raw. It's like raw fit, you know. And no, steal that too if you want. But that's the feel that this place gives. It just really gives like this, man, you feel energized when you walk out of there. You know, and if you don't have the right mindset, and I challenge somebody that's like, oh man, I'm used to like AC and cleanness. I challenge you to go just try it for like a week. I'm sure if they come talk to you, they can get a week membership. They can take and it's going to give you something you've never felt before. And it really is a euphoric high.
It is pretty cool.
You guys got to come check this place out.
We're right on the train tracks. We've got a beat up old loading dock out there. You know, you go flip a tire on that loading dock with the train going by. There's your goddamn selfie. You know?
He ain't kidding, guys.
Post that and tag us.
And that's what we're talking. Yeah, look, I'm trying to get involved as much as I can. I'm an opportunistic prick when I meet the right people. And I don't like to engage and get involved in things that I don't feel like there's going to be a vibe there. This feels like, man, I was meant to come to Yakima. I was meant to run into you. I was meant to meet Phaser. Because these are all the things that if enough like-minded individuals get together for the right reasons, we all need to eat. We all need to do these things.
Right.
But if we do things for the right reasons, somehow that always finds a way of working itself out without fucking anybody or playing a certain role or pretending. You know, this just kind of breeds real people. And you seem like a real motherfucker. You seem very real.
You're probably not going to get a lot of bullshit from me,
which I like, man. So hey, I appreciate you coming on, Craig. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got like boulders to go move and glasses to build and wives to please. But Shelly, thank you for watching. I know Craig was very happy that you tuned in. Anything you want to leave people with that they don't already know about you?
No, I think what you see is what you get, man. And really, you know, this has been a long time coming. I feel like, you know, we've got a number of people that have stuck by me, kind of, you know, they're trying to get in there and they're stumbling over equipment that hasn't been assembled and rooting through the dirt and shit. And I just can't say how much I appreciate that support. This thing's taken so much longer than we expected, you know, but it is what it is. And we rush it, it's not going to be right.
Yep.
So I think I'm just feeling like we're about around the corner. I'd like to make a quick shout out if I could. October 7th, we're going to be hosting a b-boy battle, breakdancing battle. It'll be the second one that we've from Eddie Rodriguez. Man, I hope I didn't get that wrong. But he's bringing in Soul Rain out of Denver. Huge. He brought in.
When is this?
This is October 7th. He brought in breakdancers from Canada last year. I mean, this $1,000 first prize. It's not a little thing. And
who's putting up the money?
He funds it. We've actually got he's looked for some worked with some not charitable, but
sponsors.
Sponsors, okay. grant kind of stuff. Got a little more money involved this year.
And is this open to the community to come enter?
Open to the community. Yeah, you come in or it, but you better bring your game, man. These guys are no joke. These guys,
Can people come watch?
yes, it is open to the public. It's free admission, family friendly.
Food.
Food, we're gonna make sure there's food there. You know, we're gonna make vendor space available, and not necessarily for sale, but you know, if you've got something if you've got a presence to contribute,
Right.
let's talk, you
Okay.
know, get you out in front of some people, because this thing isn't all about the money. I mean, we need to build the awareness, build the community. I got to tell you, these b-boy battles they're badass.
It sounds
I
like.
really, you know, I grew up.
Is this like rap battles?
This is breakdancing.
Breakdancing battles. Okay.
You got the DJ going, we group them up.
I imagine it's the same vibe as the rap battles,
Yes.
but it's breakdancing.
Yep.
Okay.
And, you know, I graduated in 85, and that was right when when breakdancing was just kind of hitting, you know, and so it kind of, you know, that's something that pokes, that touches a feeling for me. The graffiti touches a feeling for me. You know, it's just, it's really cool. So we want to build that shout out, but really want to build this event maybe into a day-long thing. I'm sure
That'd be cool.
James will want to get his jujitsu, you know, do some demo stuff
of course.
out there.
We'll be there.
I'm a affiliate of Spartan, the obstacle course race. They've got an indoor version of that, Spartan Deca, that we have been one of the founding affiliates for. Kept that, you know, we didn't even have a place to do it, and we kept the affiliation because we believe in it. It's fitness for everyone.
And that's what you're setting up there as well, correct?
Yeah. So we're going to train somewhat around that national affiliation. And we may run one of those Deca Strong events, where you come in, you run through the course, you get your time, it goes on a national leaderboard. You can see how
so you'd be like an official center where they could actually get officiated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We'll when we get rolling with it, we've run a few, but we'll do like a quarterly challenge there. And
we're going to reach out to, you'll give us the name of the b-boy dance off.
Yeah.
I guess that's a spin-off. I don't know.
B-boy battle.
Battle. Yeah. And what will maybe like because that's going to be, you said October 7th. So it's Saturday, October 7th.
Yeah.
So maybe the week leading up to that, we'll do a nice little promo for it and push it, and maybe have you back on like a couple days before, maybe even get him. I'm sure he's going to be into town a day or two before the event to set up.
Well, Eddie's here in town.
Oh, he lives here.
Yeah. He's bringing in a good friend of his to DJ. I mean,
tell Eddie we got to get him on here, and we'll help him promote it through the podcast.
Yeah. We'll get you guys in touch. Good guy. Met him through a friend of a friend. That was actually the first event we ever held at that place. You know, that place was so run down. The only clean spot on the floor is where the dancers were spinning. You know?
It seems like you're turning this whole little area into almost like an art district.
Yeah.
Because you don't have an art district here, which I just realized. You know, everywhere else I've ever lived, there's an art district.
Yeah, Phaser's really, really pushing, really trying to build that. You know, he's terming it the Front Street Art District.
Okay.
And I would say come down and park and just take a walk around. I walked, you're in the Larson building here downtown. I walked from my place to yours, took me maybe 10 minutes. And there was pieces on buildings that I didn't even realize were there. And
it's funny after it's one of these things that, you know, people are like, oh, 333 on TV, or, you know, the clock when it says this. Once you've seen it once, you see it everywhere. And since I've met Phaser and seen some of his art, every street I turn on, I'm seeing something that was either directly Phaser or indirectly through one of his associated graffiti artists that are working with him and alongside him. And it really does. People can say what they want to say about graffiti. They can not like it, but I'll tell you what, it looks a lot better than someone painting, you know, a cheap looking dick on the side of a wall, or, you know, kill yourself type stuff. It's either going to be that, or it's going to be somebody that's taking some time to put something that is artistically beautiful. It's not gang violence. it's most of it's cartoons and stuff from like the 80s.
Yeah. And that's, again, it's kind of hitting that, you know, I'm right in the middle. You could, I barely beat the boomers, so you don't get to call me a boomer, but I'm OG Gen X, man.
Yeah.
And
you're born what year?
67.
67. Okay. I was 78.
Yeah. And you know, this is all stuff that I grew up with, and you know, damn it, there's a hose in the gym to drink out.
Drink out of it, baby. That's Florida. That's what we do. People are like, do you have any tap water? I mean, do you have bottled water? And I'm like, fuck, I could fill that thing up with a hose and you wouldn't know that.
Right. Yeah. And that's how we're doing it down there.
I love it.
Just you know, trying to make it that grown person, that adult playground.
Yeah. You're succeeding, dude.
Yeah,
look, it's not even it's got we're going through and organizing it now. You've got an obstacle course in there, unintended. But I have a feeling with our interest in seeing this thing succeed, and you already know it needs to get done. It's like the right people lighting that fire, pushing it in the direction, because this is going, in my opinion, this is going to be one of the coolest spots in town. That is going to be kind of like the underground spot that you don't know if you don't know, and you won't know if you don't go check it out.
Right.
So you have to come check it out.
Yep.
The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to go there and go, it fucking sucks. And you're going to leave.
Not for me. That's
and
cool.
Planet Fitness is right around the corner.
Yeah.
There you go. $20 a month. You're all set.
Yep.
But I'm canceling. I actually just canceled it yesterday. I got to go back in to sign something. Cause like you said earlier, I have a Planet Fitness membership for like 2 years. And I think I've been 3 or 4 times.
Right.
I hate going, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't have fun at that gym. I don't need to put my Bluetooth speakers in my ears. I can just turn your speaker on, which is like a club speaker, and it rattles the whole room. I can listen to whatever I want to listen to. And I don't think anyone's ever going to go in there. There's going to be 50 people in there.
Oh, no.
I would say at your peak, you might have, and you know, unless it's like a set class, random people going in there, 5, 6, 7, 8 people.
Yeah. We don't want to charge them cheap and stack them deep.
Right.
You know, that's the business model for the Purple Place.
Yep.
There's
nothing wrong with the Purple Place.
Yeah. And you know, it's a spot for the people that want to be there. And I know, hey,
Minnesota Viking fans, Purple people, go for it.
They're getting their work in, and who am I to say anything different about that? But no, we're not going to make shit hard on you. You need, you know, if you decide it's not for you, you're not locked into this long contract or something, you know. No, we're going to take everything that everybody has experienced with memberships and
because they're going to be dealing with you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. And that's my biggest problem is the corporate red tape you got to get through just to cancel or talk to somebody or file a complaint. With Craig, it's like, hey, go find Craig, knock on it. You can't miss the guy.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know, good luck with your complaint. It may be valid. I may tell you it's not. But
even funner.
Yeah. But no, we're not gonna bullshit around. I mean, we don't need that in our life. We're there to enjoy, you know, take a breath and have some fun, man.
Yep.
And you know, maybe be a little stronger, move a little better when you're done. Now,
maybe not right after you're done. You might walk out like a cripple.
Yeah.
My first couple days going back to the gym, I have stairs in my house, and man, I slept on the couch the second night.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Now I told Shelly yesterday, like, man, going up the stairs feels like I haven't been able to go up the stairs this good in a long time. I'm only 44, but I've got some back injuries. I've got a good ankle injury, and you know, I'm like, am I just getting too old to do things? And then just working out just for a few days has already loosened up a lot of the joints.
Yeah, it gets you things going. You got me off track, man. You talk too much. Sorry.
I do that.
That October 7th thing, the real reason, besides the shout out to Eddie and what he's doing, was we're going to run an open house.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe kind of make that our grand reopening, because we tried to pull one off earlier. We just weren't ready. And that's the thing, is I don't want to go at this thing half-assed. I don't want to miss the excitement of the whole grand opening thing. So we're gonna pull that off.
So October 7th is the grand official grand opening.
Yeah, you know, that's gonna be our new anniversary date.
Okay.
And you know, along with that, we'll, you know, but in the meantime, if you're down for some pardon our dust workouts, come do it. Just come see the place. Cornhole, they want to talk to you. Jiu-Jitsu, they want to talk to you. They want to build what they're doing, and they're all great people. We're also looking for ideas as we go along. How can we improve it? What makes it interesting to you? I'm gonna, some of the brainstorming is we're probably gonna have dodgeball at some point. We're probably gonna have pickleball. At least to where you got the equipment and gym's open. Go play a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah.
What's it take to keep you moving and enjoying life?
Well, you've got all that space, the opportunities,
Yeah.
and options are kind of endless.
Pretty solid on doing a 3-on-3 basketball league this winter.
Kind of like what they do in Spokane.
Yeah, but
okay.
Instead of a tournament, we'll run that league six weeks out or 8 weeks out, and really,
have some fun with it.
Yeah, schedule you some games. Maybe throw you a shirt or some cheesy ass trophy.
We're gonna give you a hose trophy.
right. But we want to. The building doesn't do any good if it's empty.
Right.
And it's been empty for way too long, and we need to fill it up with some great people and just
it's almost like I feel like the building has feelings and it really enjoys that you're doing this to it.
Yeah, you get Phaser going, and he'll tell you exactly how the energy is talking to you, and I believe
starting
him.
to buy into it. Hey, it's not a bad thing to buy into. Let's be real.
Yeah,
there's worse things you can believe.
Yeah, we're here to help. We're here to help you, and just please don't follow me home.
Well, there you guys have it. Craig Caudill of the Wreckreation Center building with Conquer Athletics physical fitness area over there, and Communities Method, people up and people one day at a time. Craig, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.